And good evening. Welcome to the Gary Brodsky Show with your host, Gary Brodsky. Glad you could all make it. Looks pretty good for an opening start. And we're going to get into everything that we need to get into just for tonight. Weird occurrence in my life. Okay, listen, you'll understand this. I'm not going to say you're going to enjoy it because this is not fun. It's going to be announced soon, but I started my own ministry, Gary Brodsky Ministries. It's not online yet. It's incorporated. It's 501c3, all the right papers. Getting somebody to help me put it together, that's what got scary. Was, and still is not easy. It's like, oh, God? Oh, no, we don't deal with God in this company, but I'll pay you. Nope, we don't deal with God. And it's really amazing because the war against God is a war against every person on this planet. We have deviated into such a sick society, and there is some of the proof. And I saw no other alternative but then to start my own ministry. Because you can't say this, you can't say that. A country founded on free speech where you can't speak freely. A country rooted in family values where the family is being eliminated. Where, at one time there was prayer in school, now you can't even wear a cross to school. And this has to stop, and somebody's got to take a stand, and I'm going to do it. I am doing it, and it's going to be one of the biggest and best ministries ever. Because it is not new school, it is not new age, it is old school as it was written thousands of years ago. It has not changed, there has not been an update. I didn't get anything in the mail saying God has changed his point of view. So, by not living in God's image, look at the crap we got walking around now. Really, really bad. And I was watching a bunch of TV commercials today. You know how you usually skip the commercials? I skip the shows. I was watching the commercials. Every commercial, every one of them, shows a guy as a total nerd, geek, loser who cannot do one damn task, one thing right, unless some woman tells him, oh, honey, you got to do it like this. The guys are out of shape, goofuses, moronic in their behavior and their actions. And if somebody came from another planet and would have put on television and go, wow, these guys are a bunch of jerk-offs, which is exactly how they're portraying them. Now, you got to remember, a lot of us are not as young as we used to be. In fact, all of us, actually. But you have kids growing up on this stuff thinking that this is goddamn normal. This is so far from normal. And I have a couple of kids. And if you make a clenched fist in school, even if it's not in an aggressive manner, you got serious problems. So you can't clench a fist in school. Even if you sit like this, no fists, stuff like that, right? I have a friend who's he models clothing. You may have heard of him. His name is Dan. I'll give you more details on that. And he doesn't get any speaking parts because he has a very deep masculine voice. Like, we don't want that. So the real brainwashing, the real idol that's being worshipped is television, where the goal is to destroy men's roles. The traditional roles of men. And somewhere there's somebody sitting back and laughing. And I know who they are. Somebody sitting back there and cracking up because it is almost funny. Where they have men acting like women and women acting like men and go, look at the joke we just pulled. This is great. It's funny for them, but it's not funny. It is definitely not funny. But nonetheless, worse than the people who are doing this, worse, are the people who are actually following them, backing them up, promoting them, now it's so people. Isn't it so great they're going to eliminate gender in language? He and she is going to be replaced by Z or XE, and they're doing it now in schools. They're doing it now in some newspapers because everybody has a right to pick their own gender. I don't think so, but they can convince you of anything, and somebody has got to take a stand. I'm going to take a stand. Because if you went back in time to 1970 and said, hey, how you doing? Okay, it's 1970. You talk to people. Everybody wasn't texting. Actually, hey, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. You know, in the future, you will not be able to be called a man. You're going to have to act like a girl because the TV tells you to. That's the only reason people do it. And they show guys in such wimpified fashion. And then I see guys dressing like this, acting like this, talking in the most effeminate voice. And they go, I don't know why I don't have a girlfriend. Because you sound like a girl. Oh, I'm going to get really hard on people this year because it's just gotten too far. It has gone too far. Way too far. Everyone I know has kids in their 20s. You know what the kids are doing? Playing with these. Day and night, they're on Facebook. And that's their life. That's it. They don't have ambition, no drive, no guts, no girlfriends. Because the women are too busy acting like men, the men are busy acting like women. This shit has got to stop. It is killing. It's killing everyone. And I know questions are buzzing in, or you got some ads. Oh no, it's actually questions. Hey Chris, how are you? Good evening. Thank you for joining. Hi Chris. Feminism has gone too far. No shit. Okay. I was aware of #1 Waste His Time 2016. Holy fucking shit. Some really mean-spirited, I'm reading that as it comes in, cunts posting on this. Somehow it's okay to be a bitch to men for the sake of being a bitch to men. Here's my message about that. Being a cunt to a man for the sake of being a cunt is not being empowered. It's just being a cunt. Just stop, okay? Thanks. I'm really sure I will probably be ranting about other shit as well tonight. And thank you for that. And I hope you will be ranting about other stuff tonight. You know, recently I had an interview with some feminists. And I said to them, what would it take to make you happy? What would guys have to do? And I sat there like idiots. I don't know. They don't know. Because it is all programming. You know, I joke around with women that work for me. So, well, how much, you know, I pay this usually, but now I got to figure out what 70 cents on the dollar is. Let me just tell you something. This whole thing about pay in the workplace, women getting 70 cents on the dollar, there's more proof and evidence of Bigfoot than women getting 77 cents on the dollar. I don't know where they come up with this stuff, but because you hear it on TV, it is an absolute truth now, and that's it. This is not TV. This is a webcam. You know, but I do recommend this. Go to Black Child Production. You'll see who your celebrities are and what they do. Black Child Productions on YouTube. They tell the truth. Oh, lots of questions tonight. But this thing went upside down. Now it's back. It's been sent. Sorry to tell you that. So anyway, the more and more men become feminized. And that's why I'm doing the ministry thing. Because I don't know exactly where it is. So somebody look it up. The effeminate man will not enter the kingdom of heaven. Which means, and I know it sounds crazy, I believe in God, right? Now the universe just creates itself. It happens sometimes, right? You know, I'm sitting here at my desk waiting for stuff to self-create. It doesn't happen. Well, anyway, it says the effeminate man will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. Which means that's about as close as you can say if God does not like effeminate men. And everything that what you call the New World Order is doing is to make men effeminate so, You know, they're Satanists. They're supposed to influence you, and you're supposed to say no. But instead, everybody's going, yep, that's, you would not believe, yeah, you would, because you can see it anywhere you are, how men are acting today. It is just unreal. There are guys, grown men with jobs and lives that will not watch a show because I smoke and I occasionally pull out a switchblade, and they find that offensive. And how much worse is it going to get? It's going to get a lot worse, okay? A lot worse. I mean, people are laughing at us in every other country. This is American, by the way, so I know it's a worldwide broadcast. But we have become a joke. And guys are wondering, how come women don't like me? Women like men, okay? That's it. Remember the old black and white movies? Wow, a man. Look what men looked like then. Look what they look like now. They ain't the same guy, is it? Because if you think in that effeminate way that they preach on television, and they preach in the movies, and they preach in the magazines, you're going to start to look like it. You will become what you see. People react to symbols as much as words. And excuse me while I have a drink. I'll play some music, but I don't have any music up right now. But people become what they see. And that's why if you want to figure out how much money you're going to make, you take your 5 friends, divide it, you pick the average, that's what you're going to make. These are immutable facts and laws. You wonder how many girlfriends you're going to have? You take 5 of your friends, you say, same math applies, and it works. And I'm going to have some soda, and I'll be right back with you. I would play some music, but any excuse to knock this show off, they'll use it. All right, let's check for some more questions. Still updating. Okay. It updated. Is Mr. Guilty? Yeah, I got to talk to this guy. I got my suit on that one. Mr. Guilty. That's kind of... Okay, Mr. Guilty, how are you this evening? Thank you for joining the show. You're wondering what my heritage is. Okay. Cajun, 75%, Italian, 25%. I know my name is deceptive. It was a good name to get out of school for all the holidays, though. Dr. Alpha in the house tonight. How you doing? Good? Yeah, I'm doing great, thanks. So I'm riding the subway and some jerk-off transit cop tried to arrest me for sitting on the subway. Well, you were probably man-sitting. I sit like a man. That's against the law, by the way. You should be executed. He says, I'm what is called, there it is, man-spreading. It's ridiculous. He tells me that I can fight the charge in court. You better fucking believe I'll do that. Oh, they got your ticket for that? Holy shit. I'll take it to the mayor if I have to. But you got to understand, the mayor is, I was going to say, the male is a female feminist dyke. I mean that literally. I have fucked my share of feminists, but this might be a challenge. Wish me luck. Hey, good luck. And I am so glad you brought that up, Dr. A. And Mrs. Guilty, thank you for joining the show. It's going to be a crime to be a man pretty soon, unless we all start acting like them. And this is the average guy today. I know there's no such thing as the average guy, but this is what the average socially conditioned guy is today. No ambition, living off his parents. I'm talking about a guy in his 20s. Desire, play computer games all day. This world will not exist very long with that mentality. They make it sound like picking up women is wrong. They actually did this. I can't believe they did it, but they have. They have divided men from women. Easily the most natural thing. You put 5 guys and 5 women in a room, they paired off. Now you put 5 women and 5 guys in a room, no one talks. They're texting imaginary friends. Kind of sick, isn't it? But on the bright side, there always is a bright side. I certainly feel less chill. Yeah, I guess see the next life real quick. But on the bright side, if you're alpha today, and being alpha today is not as hard as it was years ago, you will get anything you want because, first of all, it actually now intimidates the crap out of people. One alpha guy who speaks his mind, it's such a rarity, and whatever rare and whatever is scarce has value. And most guys do not have to give themselves value. Because you don't act like you have value, you will be treated by the universe as though you're worthless. And you did it to yourself, and take my advice, start taking stock in yourself. Great program on that at GaryBrodsky.com called How to Be More Man, because you will raise your testosterone 20 to 40%, which includes everything else that's going to go into line with that. You don't need to take a pill, you don't need to take no exercise, and you'll have a flat stomach, and you don't have to do shit, okay? You just sit there and you can make it happen. Right there at GaryBrodsky.com, How to Be More Man. Is it on sale? Probably. Regardless, you need it. You can't have too much testosterone. Yeah, I know it converts to estrogen, but not if you do it this way. Not if you do it this way. We have so many estrogenized guys that have never worked out, never taken a supplement, never did shit in their life, and you see them and hear them everywhere. And it's gotten to the point where I've had it up to here, maybe here, maybe here, I don't know. I just had too much. And you will become more how you act. Wow. Lots of questions. That's good. Eric, good evening. Thank you for joining the show. Yesterday, I was in a Whole Foods, and one of the girls that works there approached me and said, excuse my reading, okay? I would wear glasses, but they're dirty and I can't see through them. I used this alpha body language, voice tonality, and I looked at her eyes. After taking a while, she said to me, you know what? Okay, sorry about the reading here. You know what, yesterday while working, I coughed, and behind me was a man. He got upset and came to my face. I coughed in my face. Okay? Because he was annoyed, he acted aggravated. I told her that he was a feminization of man, way too much estrogen in that guy, and from there I picked up the girl. Keep up the good work. Thanks so much, Eric, for joining. Sorry about poorly reading your email. That's being taken care of as we speak. Very taken care of. We made a mistake in the shipping. It's corrected. Okay. Yeah, if you're alpha, you get women. That's it. Simple equation. Why? Because alpha is confidence. And what confidence is to women is what looks on a man. You see a girl go, whoa, she's hot. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. There is nothing wrong with saying it. And a girl sees a guy with confidence, she goes, wow, I'm turned on. Forget the political correctness. Forget the feminism. Forget all the garbage. This is what I really want. That's simple. But you have to know how, and that's why GaryBrodsky.com does exist. A lot of questions coming tonight, which is good. This is a good one. Some liberals can be so stupid. I don't know. I think all liberals are pretty stupid. But I didn't think people were being programmed with convoluted shit. I read this article. Some woman wrote a piece about how she feels more endangered by, oh, I heard that piece. I know the piece. By law-abiding gun owners than criminals with guns. All right? They have logic right there. That's liberal logic. I tried to read the article. I really did. It was the biggest load of shit ever. I'm sure a criminal is more willing to rape her at gunpoint or rob her or shoot her than a law-abiding gun owner. Well, law-abiding means they don't rape, they don't shoot, they don't kill, they don't commit murder. The main reason gun control is a joke is that law-abiding gun owners don't rob, beat me to it quick, yeah, or kill people. Criminals do. Law-abiding citizens may give up their guns, especially if they are lemmings, as Alex Jones calls them. But criminals will never give up their guns. That is absolutely true. I saw a sign outside my bank that says, any robberies will be investigated by the FBI. Now, I just pictured two guys with guns running in there. Oh, sign, sorry, gotta leave. You know, the law-abiding person is always the victim of tyranny. Always. But there are tyrannies that are not written on papers. The tyranny of, as I said, the emasculating brainwashing. Because people will follow that because they see it on TV and people act just like they see on TV. Now, I haven't seen TV in years. I've seen the commercials and I can buy anything that promotes feminized behavior, which means I probably will not be buying too much stuff lately. Mr. Guilty is back. What are the ways that men can boost testosterone dramatically? Okay, you asked, you're going to get some answers, Mr. Guilty. How do you promote testosterone? 1, lift weights. 2, martial arts. 3, approach women. 4, look at pretty women. 5, go to GaryBrodsky.com. DHEA promotes and builds testosterone. It's proven. It's so proven that it's illegal in Canada because it gives men an unfair advantage over women. Oh, we can't have that. For men being attracted to women, get that off the market. And they're going to do it here, so I suggest you move quickly. And the audio program, How to Be More Man, raise your testosterone 40% in 10 minutes or less, or maybe it's 20 minutes. That works. Way too many good reviews on that. And that's been proven by science. Okay, got a question here. Great quote. Thank you, Alec. James Allen said, they who have conquered doubt and fear have conquered failure. Absolutely true. You can't make it better than that. But do men conquer anymore? Do they even lose anymore? Do they even take a chance anymore? No. Men don't. I got a good turnout tonight, considering tonight is some sports game or something like that. And guys are living vicariously through other guys playing sports. It's an old trick called bread and circuses, I mentioned this before, invented by the Caesars so they can take your shit. As long as you have entertainment, you don't care. I say live your life and become your own entertainment. You know, people are so, and this is the sad part, so, what's the word, have given up so much on life that you have now, as I say this all the time, 38% of the population is on antidepressants. How unhappy do people become? They're escaping into drugs, insanity, any type of crazy lifestyle, sick, perverted stuff. Why? Because life has become too much. You have to learn how to play life. It's not a fun game sometimes. But the alpha guy has solutions. The beta guy has problems. And I'll tell you something about God. Want to know something about God? God answers prayers. Ask and you shall receive. Not complain you shall receive. Not whine you shall receive. Not blame others and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. And if you don't believe that, try it. And you can try it at home too. You know, when talking about God has become considered bad, wrong, and offensive to people, then we have a serious problem, which we do have in this country. When the American flag is offensive in schools in America, we have a serious problem in this country. And when I hear guys say this, I don't want to build muscle. Why? Well, I want long, lean muscles. Well, let me tell you something. Muscles don't get any longer. Your arms have to get longer to compensate. This whole thing started with this, with rock and roll music. Remember in the, if you look back some of the early clips, I wasn't around back then, okay? In the 50s and the 60s, and they were saying this is the devil's music. They were right. And I'll admit I'm addicted to rock and roll music, and I'll tell you why it's the devil's music. And if you read about, you know, the 12/8 Altone system, I don't know exactly what everything means, but I know this. It's made to go into your head. How many times are you anywhere, and a rock and roll song just pops off in your head that you haven't heard in 20 years? Why? It's running in the background programming of your mind. And if you listen to the lyrics, they're not very healthy for you. So they were right. I'm going to do a whole special on that as soon as my ministry is up, which is going to be about 2 weeks. That's it. Okay, thank you. All right, questions for those of you watching don't know how to get to me. Just email me at GaryBrodsky123. Don't forget the 123 at AOL.com. I'm going to have some soda now and go to GaryBrodsky.com and buy everything that's not nailed down. Okay, time for a cigarette. Yes, I've heard smoking is bad for you. Yet, technically, there's really no proof about that. So when the ministry starts, we're going to be telling the truth about things. And here's one truth. And I will debate anybody, because I helped do it. Evolution is the biggest hoax ever played on people. And when I have the ministry channel up, I will be doing a sermon with a regular shirt on and tie, not the sweatsuits, and explain to you how the hoax was started, how it was perpetuated, and why they want people to believe it. But the biggest hoax ever played on people is evolution. And I say, well, people came from apes. Really? Because they had me convinced when I was younger. And then I really started getting involved and I started actually learning about this. There are so many non-similarities about apes that there is no people think it's not evolved to another species. It just doesn't happen. Dinosaurs turned to birds. I mean, I hear this crap that people are saying. I'm like, do you ever do any research? Do you ever think at all? Dinosaurs are, yeah, 20 billion years ago. No, the Earth is not 20 billion years old. It's still cooling. How the hell hot was it? All the bullshit will be eliminated. You know, some girl said, I can't date you because you're an atheist. Because I'm an atheist. I said, okay, don't. Simple. Guys don't know how to. Guys get clingy with going, oh, please can't. You know, I've tried that as an experiment with women. Oh, hell, when is that okay with you? So, boom, they're gone. GaryBrodsky.com will give you the tools. Because you can experiment both ways. The way you're doing it now, if you ain't got 20 women you can call at your disposal, you ain't doing it right. All right, I'll get this question in a second. For excuse me, I'll light this up. How is it that Old Glory is offensive to a greater extent the Confederate flag, but schools are trying to teach Islam in school. Which reminds me, I've been waiting to write this into the show. Someone cannot cut, excuse my reading tonight, it's off the charts, bad. But that's because I should start wearing my glasses. Someone cannot even say the word fag. The LGBT community will stop at nothing to ruin you. Oh, take the word for it. They've been on my case. I know how bad they can get. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, homosexuals are being thrown off the roofs of buildings to their death. In Saudi Arabia, homosexuality is punishable by death. There is no LGBT community doing anything about that. Then feminism crying rape here when a man just says hi. Meanwhile, in the Middle East and North Africa, women are being beaten by their husbands and burned with acid when they threaten to leave. Where are the feminists? Great question. You know, we're going to be having a migration soon if it doesn't stop, where they're talking about the rape culture because a guy looked at them the wrong way or a guy sat in the train the wrong way. And they're going to bring in a real rape culture. And then we're going to come running to men going, please help me. I think, of course, we're going to have to say yes. But is it going to take that? We're going to let it get to that point? I don't know. But now they say all sex is rape. You know why I was born? Yeah, my father raped my mother. What kind of stupidity will people allow themselves to endure? And not only endorse. It's insane. It is insane. So, yeah, more questions or more soda? Which is it? And this is all coming from, you know, years ago, they used to actually have to send people to like special places to be brainwashed, like schools or whatever. No, right now they have the television and they have the iPhone and they got Facebook. They got you covered. They got you brainwashed, coming, going, and doing something else, whatever it is that you do. You know, I don't even know what the new feminist agenda is. Basically, men suck. Okay, that's basically it. Until they meet a real one. And then it all goes out the window. If you're alpha, you follow the stuff at GaryBrodsky.com, I don't care if you have the most crew-cut feminist in the world, she'll break down. Because in their DNA is the desire for a real man. So it doesn't matter what the political game is, what the brainwash game is, it's going to knock it all down. And as I said, and I will keep saying this because every week it gets better, for guys who are alpha, there's nothing you can't get. For guys who are beta, you get what may and may not come your way, if you're lucky. You know, guys are afraid to take a stand. The new religion now, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, that everybody's following is called political correctness. You can't say this, you can't do this, you can't say it like this, you can't look like this, you can't smile, you can't say hello. It's all manufactured bullshit. But if we don't stand up and start acting like men, soon there'll be a law against it. They are already starting with the degenderized speech, with the man spreading, saying like a man is now a crime. It's not a joke. It actually is. I'm going to be talking like a man is a crime, and being a man is a crime. And this is all part of a satanic agenda. So if you're following that, you're following Satan. Yeah. One thing I'll tell you about Satanists is that, first of all, they're not really number one in my book. But they believe in God. They just don't follow him. Okay, let's get some last questions in. And let's keep going forward. Let's keep acting like men, behaving like men. You know, all you got to do is walk in, you know, with the right attitude, which is a masculine attitude. They're going to remove this from the Godfather soon, pretty soon. May your first child be a masculine child. Oh my God, that's offensive. I've seen people crying from that line. When years ago it was, that's kind of cute. They have sensitized men to the point where I wouldn't even call them men anymore. But I am here to help them. So if you're one of those guys, hey, I'm here to help you. You know my website, GaryBrodsky.com. All right, let's get in the last question before I have to close this show down. Going once, going twice. Well, we're going to finish the cigarette here. You can't do impersonations now. Halloween costumes are offensive. Everything is offensive. And what's really weird is the people who are offended say anybody who believes in this or does that should be shot or imprisoned. Real tolerant society, right? No. This is a good one. At least the governor of Texas has been defying Obama with his executive order on removing guns. If it had to live anywhere in the U.S., likely it would be Texas. I'm with you on that. I cannot believe what guys have become. You know, guys, actually, they talk and sound like this today. Oh, I would never have a gun. How are you going to protect your family? I'll call 911. Yeah, 911 is actually, I'm all pro-police, actually. Yeah, there are some crazy ones out there that do some sick shit. But that's going to be true in any profession. I'm more afraid of doctors, believe it or not. No, I have not been to one in tons of years. But 911 shows up after you're killed. And if you read the statistics on how many people stopped violent crime or rape by having a gun, and most people didn't even have to fire it. People see guns like, okay, I'll pick on the guy with that one. Have a nice day. Yeah, I do recommend for everybody martial arts training, gun training, and physical fitness. Remember, the body is a temple. Mine's a cathedral, but you know, that's just me. Okay. Buddha. Love this quote. Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts. I want to get into that for just 1 second because you're so right about that. I have an audio program called Power Self-Talk. It works. You're talking to yourself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, including weekends and holidays. And you can go and say an affirmation to yourself. I'm wealthy. I am health. I am joy. Those work. But how many times a day do you think the opposite? Whichever one gets the most votes is the only thing that's actually democratic is your mind. Whichever gets the most likes or says, let me rephrase this because I'm going off a crazy tangent here. Whichever one you say the most is going to get elected. If you say to yourself every day, I am prosperity, I am wealth, I am money, and let's not think about, well, maybe I'm not, because just forget the circumstances, you'll become that. If you say to yourself every day get more and more and more women, and just keep saying it to yourself in the best of times and the worst of times, you will. It's with anything you want, you'll get it. It's a form of prayer, because whatever comes after I am is your prayer. And I hope you will be joining Gary Brodsky Ministries. I hope this phone, okay. Somehow I got the weather. Hey Gary, great show. If we take this world back, there will be a monument in your honor. Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Gilby. That's a nice thing. I really, that is great. Thank you. Three things that cannot be hidden from the sun: the moon and the truth. And every time you make a point and add thoughts. There are some great quotes out there, all from spiritual people. And even in the 60s, you know, people were doing yoga, they were doing this, they were doing that. It may not be the path that I follow, but at least there was a search for something spiritual. So I'm not going to knock that down at all. But now, what is spiritual to people? An app on a phone? A football game? A Facebook like? It's pretty sick out there. That was the nicest thing. I gotta read that again. Yeah, Gary, great show. After we take this world back, and we will, there will be a monument in your honor. That is great. Please send it to me again. I would love to use that as a post, as an endorsement, because I don't use fake ones. I only use real ones. People say to me, am I anti-gay? I tell them God's anti-gay. Leave me alone. Because you want to listen to the opinion of the public, of the controlled media, or do you want to listen to the Word of God? That's the only options you have. I said this. Helicopter. Okay. My horse lighter. There it is. There's a goddamn horse. Okay, getting a lot of questions I can't answer because, this show's been cut off more than once, and I'm trying to keep it on. That's why we have the webinars at GaryBrodsky.com, because stuff you can't say out here. People get offended. I am so tired of these whining, whimpering assholes. It's okay to ask for help. That's not whining. That's asking for help. Whining is when you're... I had a great definition for whining. But whining is when you're complaining about other people. You hear it enough. You know what I'm talking about. I hear it from so many women. This guy, people call me up. Hey, you want to have an imitation of the voice? Yeah. And it's always the same. I thought they were guys do that. Every girl calls up the same. It's like the same guy is dating every girl. And they can't stand it. They're like, oh, God, this guy doesn't shut up. He's complaining about everything. That's one thing. Here's some free dating advice. When you go on a date, don't complain about anything, okay? The rest is going to be 500 degrees. It's hot in here. Nah, don't worry, I can deal with it. Guys don't talk like that anymore. The food tastes like crap. I don't care. I've eaten worse. But guys, and the food isn't served right. I saw people on dates. When people still went on dates, which is very rare these days. Believe me, it's rare. When people went on dates and the guy would be like, this is... And she was like, oh, help me eyes. Those help me eyes. Thank you, Mr. Guilty. Strange name. Mr. Guilty. But, yep, everybody go to GaryBrodsky.com. And I have a lot of videos on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up because there's somebody out there that lost with one thumbs down. One guy. I know who it is. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to be closing down the show, but I'll give you a few more seconds to get your last questions in. Just strange thing. I just clipped a few brief episodes of Seinfeld. I think I had one joke in there. And they could come out with that today. Too heterosexual. We don't want that, do we? No, it's bad, right? Fuck them. Oh, I like this. George Patton, one of my heroes. Hi, this is a great quote. Politicians are the lowest form of life on earth. Liberal Democrats are the lowest form of politicians. George Patton. And you know why he's dead? Because they killed him for having an opinion. And it is better to die on your feet than live on your knees. Somebody said to me, what are you going to do if they kill you? I told him probably nothing. I'll be dead. What are you going to do? Shit. And yes, there is life after death. I know nobody, a lot of people say, no, there isn't. No, there isn't. This is it. You die, it all ends. Nope, I'm right. And I'll prove it to you in the next life when you're there. Because every culture that has ever existed has believed in a God and an afterlife. It's natural because they know that naturally. But now comes the brainwashing, the new structuring, the whole insanity, the satanic agenda. So people go around acting like a bunch of morons. And when they're getting judged, they're going to say, oh, yeah, so they should have listened. But, well, thank you all for being here. I've had a good time. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm sure you did. Time for my usual sign off. And I'll be back next week. Bless you all. Prosperity, peace, joy, love. Everything you want. It's yours. Claim it. I love you all. GaryBrodsky.com. And good night.